on, everyone? It's Nick from Breaking the Clutch. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And I just recorded this entire video and then realized that I was using my computer mic instead of my Snowball. So we're going to go ahead and try this one again. Hopefully the audio quality is a tad bit better on this one and you guys can hear my squeaky chair as well. Alright, so in this one we've got, we're switching up a little bit. You guys have seen our campaign videos in the past week. You've seen our firefight gameplay or Pat's firefight gameplay. You saw our leader breakdowns from last week for the new DLC. Now let's start jumping into some of the gameplays that I've experienced with the DLC leaders, and in this one in particular we're going to go ahead and focus on Voridus, who is, if you guys aren't aware, some of you maybe don't have Awakening the Nightmare just yet, he is going to be the aggressor. He's going to be the Decimus, while Pavium is kind of the Aatrox. He's a defensive player, a lot more methodical in the way that you approach the game because you have to push yourself to that mid to late game without necessarily attacking. And on this one, on Voridus, you've got someone who's going to push up to enemy bases with units. He's going to take away your supply, or while he's taking away some of your supply pads, he's also taking in some of those supplies as well. So he's kind of a raider in that sense, or a pillager. So I absolutely love Voridus. This is again my first gameplay with him, and he's got something on. He's got Infused engineers, and these are probably my favorite units in Halo Wars 2 at this very moment. You'll see in a little bit why Infused engineers become so crucial, and why I maybe overly obsess about them. Maybe in a couple more games I'll realize that these guys aren't that good, but what they did in this gameplay for me absolutely pushed me to siding with them, and I think every time I play as Voridus, I've got to have those engineers out in the field. And again, you'll see that in just a bit. Also, if you are here for the giveaway, there's going to be a dead period where the gameplay is not really moving around at all, and it's kind of just just taking care of business, taking care of my upgrades and stuff like that before we push onto the enemy base, or before we engage in battle. That's where I'll talk about the giveaway. So stay tuned a little bit longer in this. I think there's just something very crucial in the beginning that I want to get out of the way, and I want to make sure that it is covered to the best of my ability. So I don't want to jump into the giveaway and then have this thing pop up that's going to happen in a few minutes, and then we've interrupt the giveaway kind of thing. So stay patient if you were here for that. You'll see I've got with Voridus, I'm going to get out as many grunts as I possibly can. Perhaps in the future I'll mix in some choppers, maybe go chopper infused engineers, similar to what Decimus had back in the day, which was the chopper NG rush. I might do that. I got to see where I've got to see where choppers sit in the meta as of right now. I have not seen the patch notes as of recent, and I don't know the current meta. I've been out of the multiplayer game or the competitive multiplayer scene for quite some time now. School has just absolutely taken over. A lot of you guys can experience or can relate to that. It's the grind is real once school starts, and it's a little difficult to get all this balanced out. But when we've got fantastic content being pushed out by 343 and CA, I got to keep pushing on. I got to keep jumping back into this game anytime I possibly can. I've got to say, ever since they dropped the I think it was the previous patch, the game's been more balanced. I've seen a lot more leaders being utilized now. I shouldn't say the game's been more balanced. What I've seen is that more leaders are being used, and I think that's phenomenal. I think that's what we need, kind of a League of Legends style thing where you have I think we're up to 16 leaders now. I want to see all 16 leaders used. I want to see that there's different strategies for all these leaders, and I think 343 is pushing that way. You'll notice right there, we're playing against the Forge. Boom, gets thrown right across our side while I'm picking up the power nodes, and it is absolutely lucky that I spotted this. This could have been a game ender had I been pushed back or pushed towards his side a little too closely, or a little too far from my base, and I wasn't able to push back closely enough. But you'll see, got lucky with the spot there. I should have scouted his base, obviously. Still rusty in that aspect of getting the motions down. I feel like I say that every video. It's because every video I take a couple weeks off. I record them in a bunch, and you'll see right here we've got the Infused engineers that are going to, well, we've got two things. We've got the Infused engineers that are absolutely godly, and then we've also got freezes that are going to pop up between just from the Halo Wars 2 and the Xbox. I don't know what the deal with that is, but still having that issue. You'll see the Infused engineers have the Y ability, so not only do they heal, they drop in I think it's called a infusion pool or something like that, and oh my goodness, is it deadly. I absolutely love these guys. I'm healing my base, and these engineers are pretty much just shitting out just infusion pools and just destroying everything that's underneath them. So they are just so absolutely amazing, and I would love to see these guys paired in a 2v2 or 3v3 scenario where perhaps my partner and I are going choppers or a bunch of infantry, and then we mix in some normal engineers with the infusion engineers and reduce the damage that they take by 40%. I would absolutely love to see that, and I think that's something that we might push out a little more in the future, because there's something here with these guys. I might be overreacting to the fact that they stopped that rush so quickly and so efficiently, but and they're healing my base. Like this, I should have lost this game because I hadn't scout, didn't prep myself properly. But these infused engineers absolutely bailed me out of that scenario. Let me know, have you guys been playing as Voridus, and if you have you utilized the engineers, or if you haven't been using Voridus and you've been playing against people who have they been utilizing the engineers, and do you guys think that these engineers are good? Am I overreacting? What's the play here? Because again, this is my first game with Voridus, and it just turned out to be that scenario occurred, and I figured I've got to make a comment on that, because I haven't really experienced that with another leader, where you just have these new units come in, or you've got a new iteration of a unit, and they just absolutely clutch it for you. So with that said, let me know what you guys think down below, and you'll see that I'm going to go ahead and start taking over power nodes again. I want the power nodes that I want are going to be 4 of them, 3 in the center, towards the center of the map, 1 on my side. I don't want to touch the one on his side because I just figure I'm going to lose it. If anything, I'm going to clear out the sentinels, and then he's just going to send a unit over there when my units aren't there and take it from me. And I really don't want to have that engagement go on and on and on. I'd rather, you deal with your power node. I'm going to take and control the ones that on my side of the map. That way I'm not overextending myself as well. And you'll see that I'm going to go ahead and also send over a couple grunts to his main, trying to figure out where he stands, because he invested quite a bit into that rush to not have anything come out of it. He didn't even destroy a building. So I've got to figure out where he stands in this. And you'll see his base isn't upgraded, and on my right he just tried to expand. He's got Forge's Hog out. Not too worried about that one right there. We're going to go ahead and knock that base down. I think he's going to self it as well. So we're in a good spot right here. The only way that I could possibly screw this up is if I let him expand. So what we just did right there, boom, we took out his expansion. I mean, he was building his expansion, but we prevented him from getting that expansion up. It's absolutely crucial that once you hold, and I don't know how many times I've reiterated this, so I do apologize if you guys have already heard this, but once you take advantage in that early game and you set yourself up for success, you go ahead and you don't overinvest in certain units, and you get those power nodes, you get your secondary base up, and you prevent your opponent from attacking you, or you put a little bit of pressure on your opponent by maybe attacking them, taking out a couple supply pads or extractors. You can't give that up. That's absolutely crucial to giving yourself the advantage, and once you hold that advantage, it is so difficult for the enemy to really come back from that. And it's really up to you now to decide if your opponent's going to come back in the game or if you're going to close it out. So you'll see I back my engineers up. I think they're just amazing. So at this point in the game, I'm like, I am not losing these engineers. They will never die. I need to keep them alive. And then I think they'll help me set up better for the mid game. Again, I go with this quite frequently. Locusts. I'm going to get some Rangers, some Hunters. I can swap to Reavers if needed based on my scouting. And I'm really not worried at this point. All I have to do is make sure I keep pushing and keep getting these scouts. Again, best case scenario with these guys is with these grunts, because I split them from my engineers. I don't want my engineers to die. That would be worst case scenario. Best case scenario with these guys, they're either going to scout, they're going to give me some new vision, or they're going to go ahead and be able to knock out some side bases with them. Either way, I'm in a win-win. If I do lose them, guess what? I needed to lose them anyways, because I need to utilize that cap space or that population space for other units, because obviously you don't want the grunts in the 8-9 minute mark. I mean, what are you going to do with them? So again, I think this is all crucial. You definitely don't want to hold them on your side for too long, because if you do and you let your opponent build up, obviously he's going to walk through your grunt army. So you want to get rid of those guys as soon as possible once you feel comfortable. And you'll see, again, got that crucial scout out. See, he's got a foundry in the back, and then he's got double garage in the front. Easy. That tells me maybe I'm mixing a marauder or two to slow them down to help. I always like pairing the marauders with the locusts. And again, I've said this before, I might sound like a broken box or a record player at this point, but if you have those Marauders and you mix them in with the Locust, and you have that Marauder shoot the fast Warthogs or whatever it could be, maybe a tank, you slow down that unit, you give yourself a second to get those Locusts out of the way if you have them trailing in the back. So again, I like to use the Marauder as a scout. Not that I necessarily do that in this game, in this specific gameplay, because you'll see how things unfold pretty quickly here. But I like to keep that in mind. If I see some vehicles and I've got Locusts, throw in a Marauder or two. It's really crucial to slow down those opponents, especially if you don't have teleport, like with Shipmaster, who I dearly miss, or Arbiter as well. So again, if you see those vehicles, don't be afraid to throw in a Marauder or two. Definitely get those Hunters up or opt for those Banshees. I typically like to avoid Banshees because if they've got a garage up, then they can simply just switch into Wolverines, which is why when I have my garage up, I'm able to swap quickly into, did I call that thing a Field Armory? Foundry earlier? I meant Field Armory. Sorry. So my Foundry, which is my garage comparison, is going to, I've got the ability to switch over to Reavers if need be, and that's why I typically don't like going air. I just don't think that it's necessary unless your opponent really overcommits to the wrong units, and you can just fly across, knock out his base, and not really kill his units, and you just avoid that so that way he doesn't pump out Wolverines. But again, it's all situational. All right, let's go ahead and we've got some dead space right here at this moment. You'll see map controls underway. I'm feeling pretty good about the scenario right here, so let's go ahead and talk about this giveaway. 343 was gracious enough to send Pat and myself each a package. Full disclosure, came with some Halo goodies, and I am eternally grateful for that. And it's thanks to you guys that I even was recognized by the guys over at 343. Specifically, shout out to Grim, Brother One, and also Sketch. So I want to say thank you to you guys who have supported what Pat and myself have been doing here. Again, we're eternally grateful for what you guys have given us. The one thing that Pat and I have always loved is Halo. When it comes to gaming, Halo, though, our unwavering love for Halo has never ever changed. Sure, we may disagree with certain directions that 343 takes, or that in the previous games that Bungie has taken, but we absolutely will never leave Halo. We love Halo, and the fact that, like I said, the Grim Brother One Sketch were able to reach out to us and send us over a package of goodies was I mean, the only thing I can say is thank you to you guys, and obviously thank you to those guys at 343. But none of this could be done without you guys. So I want to also give away the 5 complete edition codes that they sent over to us. I think Pat got 5. I don't know how he plans on giving away his 5, but I'm going to go ahead and give away my 5 how I see fit. In this video, leave me a comment and tell me what is your favorite thing about Halo Wars 2. It could, let's just say, what's your favorite thing about Halo Wars 1 or 2? Did you prefer Halo Wars 1? Did you prefer Halo Wars 2? Do you love both of them? Do you have a specific thing that you absolutely enjoy in either of the games? Whatever it may be, I'll accept 2 comments, and then in the next video I'll give away all 3 or the last 3 of my codes, because I don't want to stretch this out. Previously we had 2 codes and we stretched it out. We did one after another, and now that we've got 10 coming at you guys, I don't want to hold on to these. I want to give them out as quickly as possible to you guys, because it doesn't do us very much good to stretch it out over the next 10 videos or whatever it is. I want these codes to be given out to you guys as quickly as possible. And again, it is the complete edition. If you have the game and you have the DLC and you have Awakening the Nightmare, please refrain. Still leave a comment if you feel so inclined. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say, but maybe in the comments say already have the codes or already have the game and the DLC. Thanks for the offer, whatever. Because I really want to give this to people who either don't have the DLC, or they didn't get the Awakening of the Nightmare. Maybe they have financial troubles going on right now. They got to spend that money elsewhere. I know a lot of you guys go to school, and maybe can't. You gotta eat, you gotta pay rent, you gotta do all that stuff before you can spend the money on some entertainment. So again, if you guys could just leave a comment, what's your favorite thing about Halo Wars 1 or 2, or your critique of it, whatever it is, and you don't have the DLC or you don't have Awakening of the Nightmare, please let me know. And if you do, please also let me know so I don't pick you guys Again, no hard feelings. Just want to give this code, give these codes to the people who I think need it the most. So again, thank you guys for understanding in that way. All right, so we're back. Actually, we're not back. The game's over. You guys see these Infused engineers are just disgusting. I might, you know, I might get a little poster or something. So I'm gonna need someone to paint me an Infused engineer. I'm gonna pay someone to do that because these guys are my heroes now. They are absolutely crushing the opponents. And if you go ahead and pair this with Cataclysm, which I don't utilize my leader abilities well at all in this gameplay. It's something that I'm going to work on, and perhaps I'll do a specific video on how to kind of pair these ones. I've got an idea on how I want to pair Pavium's leader abilities, but with Voridus, his leader abilities, again, this first game I was playing with him, I didn't really have it mapped out in my head as I typically do. So I'm gonna need a couple tries with this one, and I'll get the. If you guys have a suggestion, let me know. I'm going to definitely work on my gameplay with Voridus. But I hope you guys did enjoy this gameplay, because I thought that the Infused engineers, if anything, if the video was anything, I hope it was worth it to see those Infused engineers just be absolutely clutch monsters. And who knows, maybe they suck, and you guys will tell me that they suck, and I got lucky on this one. Whatever the case is, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, leave your comments down below. Thank you guys sincerely from the bottom of my heart, everything that you guys have done for us in supporting Halo Wars 2. Whether you were here for the BtC community, if you're here for the Halo community, or specifically the Halo Wars 2 community. Maybe you guys just don't like, maybe you don't play Halo in general, but you love an RTS Halo game. Thank you to everyone. It's been a fantastic ride, and we can't wait to see where the future takes us. Shout out to all the mods on our Discord. Check out our Discord down below. And last but not least, I want to give two quick shout outs. First is going to go to the new Halo Wars 2 Battle Tracker app. Now you can go on their website. I'm going to go ahead and leave all the information down below in the description. It's a fantastic companion app that allows you to look at your stats a little bit differently and how things are articulated in the game just a bit differently. And I hope you guys find it useful. Go ahead and also I'll leave a link to the forum that describes everything about it. You can talk to the dev on there who is working on the project. I believe his name's Blakey, from what I've seen, and also to Isaac as well. So hopefully you guys find that useful. If we can always find something that improves the Halo Wars 2, then obviously there's got to be a shout out for it. And the second one's going to go to Venjol Fadam. I don't think there's a better Halo content creator right now, and I think that that he just I'm not quite sure how he hasn't blown up to the point of like top Halo YouTuber at this moment. But I do think aside from that, the numbers not necessarily reflecting what I think of him or think where he'll go, he's, again, I think the best Halo YouTuber, and you absolutely should check him out. He goes in-depth looks at betas, alphas. I think the last one I just looked at was the Halo Reach beta Invasion, which Invasion was one of my favorite game types back in Halo Reach. Played the hell out of it with my boy Jeremy, and you know, it's really cool to get that different type of perspective. And also, of course, he has the Let Me Smash series on there as well. But I think his best content comes from that breakdown stuff. So quick shout out to him. Please check it out. You don't have to say we sent you or anything like that. Simply just check it out. He's the best Halo YouTuber on the platform right now, and he deserves all the support that he gets or he can get. And I hope you guys have enjoyed. Hope you guys check him out. Hope you guys check out the Halo Wars Halo Wars 2 Battle Tracker app. Blah 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 blah. And also shout out shout out. We're giving away those codes. Go put the comments down. I'm leaving. I need to drink water. I'm tired. See you guys later. Bye bye.